Another day goes by and we grow ever closer to live professional wrestling in front of big, live, healthy, and hopefully vaccinated audiences. What's up, everybody? It's Sports Key to Wrestling. I am Kev Kellum here with a breaking, developing story. Yesterday, we talked to you about PWI Insider reporting that WWE was exploring plans at some point in the summer of getting Raw and SmackDown, their two main popular brands, back on the road in front of live fans in some form or another. Today, we get even more information about that. This comes from the reliable source of WrestleVotes, a mysterious Twitter handle, which has broken proven news from backstage behind the curtain of WWE. Sorry, this is a curtain. Sound off in the story. Hit the like in the comments below if you haven't done it already. And if you haven't done this, subscribe to our channel here on YouTube and on Facebook. Watch and bing, make sure those bells are on so you get all of the live content from us, plus our Monday Night Post Show with Vince Russo, our Friday Night Post Show for SmackDown with Dutch Mantel, exclusive interviews, and so much more. Hours of quality fan content for you wherever you may be on your device. All right, hit that like button. Come on, you're watching the show for free. Let's get into the story here. So WrestleVotes has broken this story earlier today and has been quite responsive. Thousands of people interacting with this story on Twitter. And it reads like this: hearing a hot SummerSlam location rumor that would excite a ton of people, but not at liberty to disclose yet. Come on, WrestleVotes. I vote you disclose, WrestleVotes, simply because those discussions are still in flux. However, considering many cities are starting to lift restrictions, which is true, especially even today, I wouldn't expect any announcement prior to June. We're now here at the end of April, so we may not even hear anything until sometime, until we're actually into the thick of summer, which would line up maybe with being able to sell tickets. I mean, with how late we were in the game with WrestleMania tickets going on sale. So what do you think of this? The SummerSlam for last year with the pandemic was planned originally for Boston. Now, obviously, plans have changed quite a bit with the pandemic. WrestleMania this year was supposed to be in LA. Obviously, it stayed in Tampa in front of a different audience under 2 nights. Very different arrangement. What do you think? This plays into news that we're getting today that New York City, the mayor of New York City, Mayor de Blasio, one of the largest cities in the world, one of the largest cities in the United States, and obviously a wrestling mecca in its own right, with stadiums, with a lot of cultural roots for WWE, says they want to be open, including arenas, including stadiums, by July 1st. Now, it's worth noting that some live entertainment venues may not be able to open. They are saying that Broadway, in some cases, will not be open until September. But still, the Broadway of wrestling is Madison Square Garden. So there's a possibility. I'm not saying this is happening. I'm just saying there's dots. Can we connect the dots just yet? But no, the dots are there. Can you see the dots? What do you think? Sound off in the comments. Let me know what you guys are thinking here. A couple of people here with me sounding off here. Greetings from Puerto Rico. Greetings to you. He says SummerSlam will be held in Texas, I believe. I've heard some people say that. Texas is one of those states now in the United States that has lifted almost all restrictions, but you do have some businesses adhering to those restrictions. As vaccinations still come in, you don't know at an event who could be vaccinated. Another thing that's worth noting is what's to say these are events where vaccination is mandatory to attend. We don't know yet. There's still so much to be learning about this story, but still something worth discussing. Jennifer Thompson saying, it sucks because SummerSlam should be in Boston. Yeah, I've heard many other Boston, Massachusetts wrestling fans saying you'd be really screwed if Vinnie Mac took the SummerSlam away from us. Ridiculous. It'd be awful. It'd be worse than when they took Nomar Garcia-Parra from the Red Sox. That's my worst Boston accent here. Other people chiming in here. Monty Price saying, I can't wait to go to SummerSlam this year. So, Monty, you don't even know where it's going to be and you want to go. I think there is enough fan demand for this. I heard there's some people with WrestleMania as well. Do you want to go to SummerSlam? Do you feel healthy and safe to go to SummerSlam? Do you get your jabs, as they say over in the UK, get your shots and you're ready to go? Nick Batson texting in here saying SummerSlam was scheduled for MSG before the pandemic hit. No, it was scheduled for Boston at TD Gardens. Just to be correction, I've heard some people say, oh, they're going to do it here, they're going to do it there. A lot of speculation. Where do you want SummerSlam to be? As I already mentioned, the mayor of New York City saying that city's going to be open. We heard rumblings last summer when SummerSlam was in flux of it being on a beach in New Jersey with the New York skyline in the background. I think that's kind of what you're referencing there, Nick. But what do you think? Sound off. Let me know what you guys think of this story here and chime in here. Other people just want this thing in Boston, Massachusetts. That's where you're supposed to do it. Do right by the people of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, the wrestling wealth of Massachusetts. Other people just simply saying they're tired of the Thunderdome. Are you tired of the Thunderdome? Has the Thunderdome experiment played out with you? Let me know. I'm okay with the Thunderdome. I think it's a plausible thing for WWE to do. It's certainly better than just an empty gym. I think most people would agree on that. It is something that took a while to get used to, and I do think it's adapted pretty well. But there's something special about an organic fan reaction. Wasn't WrestleMania special for that? Dale Pruitt says, do it in my backyard. Do WrestleMania in my backyard. Come on, WWE, become a backyard wrestling federation. You know what, Dale? I'm going to say I don't hate that idea. I don't hate that idea. If you have a big backyard, you can do it just like, well, what was the joke comedy pay-per-view, Talkin' Shop-A-Mania, that Big Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson did? That was just all a joke. If they did it in someone's backyard and it was like a barbecue with wrestling, like if they did it, say they do it in Florida and they do it on a beach, and they do part of it on a beach and part of it in someone's backyard, and there's matches in a barbecue, I'm okay with that. I think that'd actually be cool if you just go full-fledged with the gimmick and just embrace all that stuff and just having a limited audience of selected people, even if you don't have real fans yet. I'd be okay with that. But I mean, this lays into plans. We heard from PWI Insider with WWE talking about being on road sometime in the summer. You had Jim Ross, so he's somebody from AEW, the big WWE rival, right? They're saying they want to be on the road in July. And here's the thing, though. I think in some parts of the country, this will be true. In some parts of the country, it won't be true. I've heard this. Why do it in the United States? Why not go, like Dylan is saying, why don't you go to Australia? Well, I do think there's going to be an issue with getting people out of the United States into another country. I don't know the exact protocols of that, but you could have quarantines then. You could have quarantines when you're getting there and then getting back, and those could be 2 weeks, and there's a whole bunch of issues with that. So that could create a lot of different issues. But I've heard a lot of people say, why don't you go to Australia where they're doing arena concerts? You had Tame Impala, one of the big alternative dance rock acts, do some sold-out shows recently. And so that would be wild. You know, I got to see some footage of that, and it was just incredible to feel that energy again. You don't know what you got until it's gone, right? We really miss things like that. I'm now watching concert footage of bands and musical acts I would never watch otherwise because of this. Other people chiming in. Jose G, what's up, Jose G? You can check him out on the Debrief if you haven't done it. Great episode last night. Them running down AEW and their build to Blood and Guts next week and NXT. They had some controversial takes that I did not agree with, him and Rico. That is available up now on our YouTube channel, on our Facebook watch as well. Go give it a look. He says, best pay-per-view ever. Talkin' Shop-A-Mania is golden. We need more Talkin' Shop here. Dion Smith loves the Thunderdome. I know some fans that truly love themselves some Thunderdome. And the people that are into it are into it. But we have other people like Dale. He wants it in his backyard, and he's tired of the Thunderdome. He's not on board here. So let's get into other comments here. And other people saying, Dylan saying there was 85,000 people for their national sport, which I assume would be Aussie rules football. Am I correct on that? And other people chiming in here. Steven saying, no, concerning the Thunderdome, they are trying to keep people safe. This coronavirus is not over. Ask the family of Luke Harper. Well, here's the thing, Steve. You just put out some serious misinformation there with the presumption that this was a COVID-related situation. It is not. That's been refuted. That isn't accurate. Is it still an issue for other people and other families? Absolutely. The COVID-19 is still an issue for people. You got to get herd immunity. You got to get vaccinated. This isn't misinformation. This isn't someone telling you, oh, don't tell me what to do. We're not trying to get political here, but it's just to get back to life as it was. You don't want to get your shots. You want to stay home. You want to wear your mask. You want to do whatever you can to keep people safe. You don't want to get them. Fine. But there's going to be this hump that people are going to have to get over. in terms of a certain level of immunity where this isn't an issue anymore. And we're not exactly there, but we're getting very, very close that we're having discussions like this about big events coming back. I know for a fact there is a major rock festival called Rockfest in Cadott, Wisconsin, in the United States that is planned for July. It will feature the bands Stained and Korn. That'll be going down in July. So some concerts are coming back. Depending on where you are in the United States, it's a possibility. If you're in an area with a high case count, I could see that not happening. But you also have one of the major cities like New York City talking about reopening here. So it's pretty crazy here. Other people talking about venues around them in Texas, like selling out here. And of course, other people jumping into this conversation. What are the matches going to be? Now, if you're going to do a show with live fans, what's going to be the marquee match to sell people? And Nick is saying, will Brock Lesnar face Bobby Lashley? That has been the rumor for some time, is that Bobby Lashley was protected at WrestleMania, defeating Drew McIntyre, who many people assume was just going to, get his crowning moment in front of an audience. He didn't get it. Bobby Lashley is a monster of a champion, rebuilt, refined, stronger, and better than he's ever been. He has that serious, legitimate fighting background. Him versus the Beast Brock Lesnar. It writes itself. It writes itself. They have never met this type of way. Two big, larger-than-life guys. You're talking like a monstrous fight. A monstrous fight, like on the level of King Kong versus Godzilla, on the level of like Power Rangers with the Megatrons and the robots. And I could see the vignettes, them just destroying a city with suplexes, a legitimate suplex city. I would enjoy it. Other people, let me know what you think here. Keep hitting the like button. Keep hitting the reactions. The more you do that, the more people see our content. We are the little engine that could. We are not what you need. We are your sports Kita. Yeah, so some people chiming in here. Dominic saying, I'll just watch WWE with my 10-year-old, and that's a sweet beard. Well, thank you very much, my bearded friend. I think you have a sweet beard as well, Dominic. To all the bearded wrestling fans, to all the fans of beards out there, respect the beard, okay? Respect the beard. All right, keep your eye on Sportskeeda, on YouTube, on Facebook for the latest going on in the world of wrestling. And if you haven't done already, go ahead and download our app. Available in the Apple Store, available in Google Play. A great way. You don't have to go Googling around. One click on your phone. Don't even have to go into all the different sites. We got it all for you at Sportskeeda. Remember, when watching wrestling, do the most important thing. Enjoy.